Yes.
Mr. Esperanza?
Mm-hmm.
My name's Sarah McCall. I'm the social work intern, and I'm just coming to talk to you about some plans for whenever you leave the hospital.
Okay.
I know you just got here, but I want to go ahead and talk to you about, where you're going to go, what sort of resources you have, if we can connect you to any resources if you need them. I've got to ask you some questions.
Okay.
All right. We just want to make sure all your information's correct, and we know what you're planning on doing, so that we can all be seeing eye to eye. I want to make sure that you know that this information is private. It's only going to be between you and me, and the doctor, maybe the other social worker, and some of the nurses. So you can say anything, and it's not going to go anywhere. All right?
Okay.
Okay. My first question is, where are you living right now?
I live in Manning, South Carolina, and it's about 30 minutes away.
Okay.
So it's a little ways away.
Do you live with anyone right now?
Yeah, I live with my girlfriend Flora, who's great, and we live in a pretty small apartment complex.
Okay. Do you have any immediate family in the area?
Not in the area. I would say that I consider probably my friends my family now, but my real family is in Nicaragua, because that's where I came from.
Okay. I have to ask you this, and please answer truthfully, but are you a citizen of the United States?
No, I'm not.
Okay. That's good to know. That's just so that we can know if we can get you insurance or Medicaid. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get you Medicaid because of that. You need a Social Security number, and you don't have it. But we've got other resources here for you that we can use, all right? You said your family is still in Nicaragua, correct?
Yeah, my parents are there.
Okay. And you said you had some friends? Do they live close?
Yeah, my really close friends live just right in my apartment complex, and I mean they're great to me. They help me with finances, and because I can't work right now, and they help me with transportation, and sometimes they feed me and Flora because we get hungry, so they feed us too. But they're wonderful, yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've got some pretty supportive friends. I was wondering, though, you just said, your family lived in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Are you still in contact with them?
Well, it's just, not really. I feel like they're supportive of me. They support me emotionally, I guess, but we can't really talk much because it's just too expensive, and my parents are still alive, but we probably only talk twice a year. It's not very often.
Yeah. Well, I know that those long distance costs can be really expensive. That must be hard.
It is, but I still feel like they support me.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. Well, I know that you said you'd been with Flora for a while, or at least said that on your face sheet. I wanted to know, are you using protection?
Yeah, we use it sometimes. We're not really consistent with it. I know how, and I know how to use it, but yes and no, and not every time.
Okay. Well, I know they've talked to you about the AIDS virus. Is that correct?
Yeah, they have.
Okay. So you know how it's transmitted from one person to another?
Yeah, I understand it. I just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's really important that you do use protection. We don't want your girlfriend Flora to get it. We want to keep her healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you consider using protection every time?
Yeah, if it were available, I feel like that's something else that I have to buy, and I already have all these medications that I'm taking, but yeah, I would if I had it for every time that we did get intimate.
All right. Well, the great thing is that there's a Hispanic outreach program, and they do have support groups for people with HIV/AIDS. They also have sex education, and they will give out free protection.
Do they speak Spanish?
Yes, they do.
Okay, because that's important.
All right. Yeah, there won't be any sort of language barrier there.
Okay.
You'll be able to understand, and everybody who goes to these things speaks Spanish as well.
Okay.
I wanted to know, do you have a source of income right now?
No, I mean, I used to work, and I used to work in construction, and I've also worked in textiles, but I can't work right now. I feel so bad. I'm weak, and one side of my face is saggy, and I'm nauseous all the time. I have diarrhea, and I mean, how are you supposed to work if you have diarrhea? It's just, I used to assist my parents financially, and I used to send money back to Nicaragua, but you know, if I can't provide for myself and Flora, I can't provide for my parents, and I feel so inadequate, and when I used to work, I could provide for myself, and my friends didn't have to help me so much, but now they have to help me with rides, and you know, just having a roof over my head, and I mean, taking my medications makes me feel awful, and if I feel awful, I can't work. So
it sounds like you're really not feeling too great, and that you do have a strong desire to work.
Yeah.
I know it's not fun being sick all the time, and hopefully we'll be able to get you to a stable place in the hospital, and then we can look at getting you feeling well enough to work again, because that seems like a really important thing to you.
It is, and I feel like I'm good at what I do. You know, I've worked at it for a long time, and I learned everything from my dad. He's in construction too, but I need to feel better because I have to work, and I think if I were just able to work, then it would solve a lot of my problems.
Well, it sounds like that would help you out a lot financially. Did you say that you received any income?
Oh, well, Flora has a part-time job at a fast food restaurant, and so she helps sort of. Well, she provides most of our income actually, and then what she doesn't provide, my friends provide, and they really help out a lot. And it kind of makes me feel inadequate because I'm a grown man. I should be able to provide for myself, and I can't right now.
It sounds like you really do have a strong ethic to work. That's really something admirable, and it sounds like you have some great skill sets that would be great put to use.
Yeah, I'm good at what I do. If I could just do it.
Well, that's what we're going to work towards, and I'm going to set you up with some other facilities, with the USC Immunology Clinic with Contracita. I'll talk about that in a bit, and just some of these things that'll help get you to the point where you can start working.
Okay.
Let's see. Do you receive any services in the community right now?
I mean, I go to the USC Immunology Clinic, but other than that, no.
Okay. Well, the USC Immunology Clinic is great. It looks like you've been going to all your appointments, and they've helped you cope with your illness, correct?
Yeah, they have.
Well, that's good. They'll also be a great resource for explaining sex education to you. One of the things I did notice, though, with that, it looks like you said you had not been taking your medicine from them.
Oh, no. I mean, when I do take my medication, I feel bad. You know, I can't work when I'm vomiting, you know, and my eyes hurt when I go outside, and if I'm in construction, I have to be outside. So when I take my medication, I feel bad, and then, you know, recently I haven't been taking it, but I feel worse.
Yeah. Well, the medication will make you feel better. I know that it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some side effects, and hopefully we can look at getting those kind of cured. USC Immunology will be able to look at that and make sure that you're on the right medications, that they've got some extra medicine that can help with nausea and vomiting for you. But it would be great to get back on that, and that way you'll be able to get stronger so that you can work. Because right now, you have a really high viral load, and that leaves you open to a lot of infections, and that'll get you sick and get you to a point where you don't feel able to work. All right. Can you do that for me? Can you make sure that you start taking those medicines?
Yeah. I'll start taking all my medication, and maybe I'll start feeling better.
All right. Yeah. That'll hopefully get you feeling to a place where you can work. Because there are a lot of people with HIV/AIDS that can work, that do labor every day, right?
Okay.
I wanted to know, do you have a history of mental illness right now?
In my family, or I don't think I do.
Okay. I know psychiatry came in to talk to you about, your feelings of anxiety, and it seems like you're really dealing with a lot of emotions over this diagnosis and how you're feeling right now. One thing that I wanted to maybe ask if you'd be interested in, there's a support group that at the Hispanic Outreach Center, they do speak Spanish. It's for HIV/AIDS patients, and so there'd be people to talk to that know what you're going through and know how to kind of cope with this illness a little bit more. Would that be something that you'd be interested in going to?
Yeah, I feel like if I could just talk to other people, and find out, have other people taken their medications and felt sick, and what sort of feelings they're going through, because like I said, I want to work. I feel like working would just help me emotionally, it would just lift my spirit. So if I could just talk to other people who are going through this, I think it would help a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely set you up with that then. One of the other things that I wanted to mention, it looks like you have a primary care doctor, Dr. Lopez. Right. Have you been going to him?
Not really. I never go.
Okay. Well, I do want to stress the importance of going to your doctor. He'll be able to keep track of you since he's in Manning and USC Immunology is over here in Columbia. He's closer to you. He'll be able to follow you and make sure that you're getting better, and he'll be able to communicate with the immunology clinic about maybe if you need to change your medications or if you're feeling some side effects like it looks like you were with nausea and vomiting. He'll be able to prescribe some medication for you to make you feel better and get rid of those side effects. And that way, if you do get sick, he'll go ahead and catch it early so you don't end up really sick and here in the hospital again.
Okay.
All right? Do you go to a pharmacy?
Well, it really just depends. Sometimes I go to Walgreens, sometimes it's Walmart, sometimes it's Rite Aid. It's really whatever's cheaper. I feel like money is such a big deal, and my friends help me out, so I want to make it cheap for them, since they pay for a lot of my prescriptions.
Well, one of the things that we can do here, we've got a drug list from Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Publix, Rite Aid, like all the grocery stores and pharmacies in the area, and we can look at that and see if we can find you the cheapest drugs available. I know that Walmart's got their $4 list, and Publix has a few that they'll offer free, and so we'll go ahead and go through that list and highlight things that you're taking, and I'll go ahead and bring that to you, and so we can look and see which one's cheapest.
Okay.
That should help save some money.
That would be great.
All right. Well, that's good. Let's see. I want to make sure that you have transportation from the hospital once you're feeling better into your appointments. Do you drive yourself, or?
I mean, I don't have a car or a driver's license, and Flora doesn't either, but my friends drive me to most of my doctor's appointments, because they don't have public transportation where I live, so they really help me out with transportation too.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you have some fabulous friends.
I do. I have some good friends. They support me just in every aspect of my life right now.
Well, that's great. And they'll be able to help you get to where you need to go, or
Yeah. They have pretty flexible schedules, so they should be able to take me where I need to go. Usually when I go to the doctor, I don't tell them why I'm going because they don't know about my diagnosis.
okay.
But they still will take me there. They don't really ask questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, do you mind that they don't know about your diagnosis?
Well, I mean, they help me out so much that I'd really like to tell them, but I don't know how. And I don't think it would change our relationship. But when I found out I had AIDS, I didn't tell anybody. Flora is the only person who knows, and I feel like she's supportive, but I just don't know how to tell my friends.
Well, that's one thing that you can talk about in the support group, and maybe they'll know how to talk to some of their friends and family. They've gone through it before. You might have some tips and pointers for you. Hopefully make you feel better about telling them. I know that's a scary prospect, informing somebody of a diagnosis like that. But since they are such close friends, it seems like they'd be understanding.
Yeah, I think they'll be supportive.
All right. Well, since you do have transportation through your awesome friends, I'm going to go ahead and set up some appointments for you. I'm going to set up a follow-up appointment at the USC Immunology Clinic so we can make sure that you're on the right medications, you're on the right track towards being healthy so that you can work. I'm also going to go ahead and set up an appointment with Dr. Lopez. Is that okay? All right. Because I want to make sure that you're going to him and following up with him so that we just know how you're doing.
Okay.
All right. Also, it's going to go ahead and make you an appointment with that support group that I've been talking about.
Okay.
And they'll meet weekly, and that way you'll just be able to talk to other people, other patients about what's going on, and that might help you with some of the emotions you're dealing with. I know you're going through a lot right now. This is a big thing. But that'll be that extra emotional support for you.
Okay.
And lastly, I wanted to talk to you about going to a place called Contracita. It's part of the Hispanic Outreach Program.
Do they speak Spanish?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But they'll talk to you about sex education and, maybe go test Flora, make sure she doesn't have the virus, or if she does, that way we can go ahead and catch it early.
Okay.
But they'd be great for that. I'm going to go ahead and give you all the information on that and on the Hispanic Outreach Program and all the things that they have to offer.
Okay.
I'm also going to bring back that medication list. And I'll make sure to tell you when your appointments are and if anything changes. But you just get to feeling better, Mr. Esperanza.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go. I'll be back later today to make sure you have all that information, all right?
Okay.
All right. Bye.